Shabbat Shalom. This does not exactly look, as Mayor Bloomberg put it, like the little shul on the corner, a little bit larger than that. It is, though, for me tonight, here in this sanctuary, a great, great honor to speak on behalf of Rabbi Posner's alma mater, the Hebrew Union College, but even more significantly, as a friend of Rabbi David and Sylvia Posner, as we mark his 40 years here in this great congregation, in this great pulpit. As Carol Greenberg and I were talking prior to the service tonight, 40 years, 40 shana, is a lifetime. And yet we know that Rabbi Posner has, during that lifetime, along with Sylvia, engendered such love and devotion from so many of you that all one has to do tonight is to look at this kahal, this community, as it is assembled here tonight to honor Rabbi Posner, to recognize the influence that he has had. Love is probably the most difficult emotion of all to fully capture. As I said, I speak tonight as the president of Hebrew Union College, the institution that educated and formed Rabbi Posner and prepared him for the rabbinate. But I speak here tonight even more significantly as Rabbi Posner's friend. In Jewish tradition, it says, "Aseh lecha rav u'kneh lecha chaver." You should acquire for yourself a rabbi and make for yourself a friend. The reality is that Rabbi Posner and his wife Sylvia have been my friends for over 4 decades. And for over 4 decades, I have been nourished by them as you have in every way that is conceivable. Rabbi Posner, as the cantor and Rabbi Ehrlich and Rabbi Seidman noted in their letter tonight, is for all of us a rabbi's rabbi. What is it that we do celebrate here tonight, and what does it mean for Rabbi Posner to be celebrated by each and every one of us as our rabbi, Rabbeinu, on this occasion? Within the Sephardic tradition, there are 3 titles that are given to a rabbi, but each one of them indicates a different dimension of what the essence of the rabbi's task is. And Rabbi Posner, for 4 decades, has fulfilled that essence as rabbi of Congregation Emanu-El. A rabbi is to be a marbitz Torah. A rabbi is to be a teacher and a lover of Torah. David Posner is learned, everything from Aleph to Taf, from Aramaic to Taf, Talmud. David Posner is aware of the depths of Jewish religious tradition. He is a Yodea Sefer. He is someone who knows what the books of our tradition say, and he is a lover of classical and Jewish languages. David Posner loves the Word. He is a master preacher, and he watches and he examines each word very, very carefully, because he knows that words, as our tradition put it, have an ethical import. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. When God spoke, the world came to be. Through words, community is formed, and thus Rabbi Posner, as a Yodea Sefer, as a marbitz Torah, as a teacher of Torah, has helped to create community among tens of thousands of us over his decades as service as rabbi of this community. But a rabbi has to also be, as the Sephardic tradition puts it, a chacham. A rabbi needs to be wise. A rabbi needs to know how to take the words of these tradition and apply them in ways that comfort, but also in ways that challenge, on issues both personal and public throughout his career. And Rabbi Posner, from this pulpit, from this congregation, has over 4 decades brought the words and wisdom of Jewish tradition to bear into the personal, the private, but also the public life of this community, this congregation, this city, into your lives in ways that reflect his wisdom and his care. But in the end, a rabbi has to also be, as I mentioned at the very outset in my description of my relationship with Rabbi Posner and Sylvia Posner, a rabbi has to be a chaver. A rabbi has to be a friend. A rabbi has to understand and know the joy, the pain of those whom the rabbi serves. In his officiation at over 2,000 weddings, at hundreds and hundreds of bar and bat mitzvahs, in times of sadness, at hundreds and hundreds of funerals, Rabbi Posner has been present as a chaver who has brought the comfort and the wisdom of Jewish tradition and even more of his personality to bear on the life of this community, of you who sit here tonight, and upon this city. To be a chaver in the end means that we celebrate Rabbi Posner for his work as our friend. We celebrate him for his scholarship as a Marbitz Torah, and we celebrate and honor Rabbi Posner for his wisdom as a chacham. In the end, I would offer one Jewish mystical teaching that I think embodies all of these other qualities that Rabbi Posner has displayed throughout his career, because in the end it reflects more than any other single item what it is that marks Rabbi Posner's character and what it is that has marked his rabbinate. In Jewish mystical tradition, in the tradition of Lurianic Kabbalah, there is the belief that the world was created in a giant cataclysm. There was an apocalyptic moment in which God withdrew in an act that the Kabbalists labeled Tzimtzum. God withdrew his own divine presence and placed the holiness of his own being into vessels that burst, and with the bursting of these vessels, Shvirata Kelim, the world came to be. The reason why the world is not perfect, according to this Kabbalistic tradition, is that the world itself was created in a cataclysmic moment, that all prior to existence was God, and that with the creation of the world, God's presence is not found in each and every place in the universe. But at the same time, the Kabbalists point out that there are nitzitzot. There are nitzitzot shel kedusha. There are sparks of holiness that reflect the presence of God amidst all the dross, amidst all the evil, amidst all the brokenness that marks the world in which we live. And the Kabbalists teach that the task of each and every Jew, of each and every human being, is to go out into the world and through the performance of that term that Mayor Bloomberg cited earlier, through the performance of mitzvot, of commandments given to us by God, through the performance of these good deeds, we gather up sparks of holiness and we aid God in the task of tikkun olam. We aid God in the task of repair of the world. Rabbi Posner is our friend, as our sage, as our teacher of Torah, has been engaged throughout his entire life in gathering up sparks of holiness. You have felt these sparks and his ability to gather them in the weddings that he has performed for you, in the naming ceremonies at which he has officiated, in the comfort that he has provided you in the hospital, in the comfort that he has provided you as you engage in Nichum Avelim, the comforting of mourners. In countless, countless places, Rabbi Posner has embodied every hope we have for each and every rabbi and cantor whom we ordain at the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion. And so on this night, it is not only as president of the College Institute, but as his friend, that I salute and celebrate Rabbi Posner on this awesome and holy moment, that I say to Rabbi Posner, to Sylvia, with whom I work each and every day, to their beautiful children and beautiful grandchildren, may the sparks of holiness that they discover in the world and that they bring to each of us through their work in the community, may those sparks continue to be gathered by them, and may all of us, inspired by their example and by his example, help to repair that world which is so desperately in need of the goodness that Rabbi Posner brings. Rabbi Posner has stood on this bimah countless Shabbatot and on other occasions, and he has brought God's blessing upon you. And so on this occasion tonight, as Rabbi Posner prepares to address you, I would like for one moment to turn the tables on him and offer him a blessing, as he has blessed all of you in so many ways for so many years. And so it is in that spirit of thanksgiving, hoda'ah, and recognition of all that Rabbi Posner has done, and to fulfill, I will confess, an aspiration to be not only his friend, but as it were, the rabbi at, one could say, his own bar mitzvah tonight, at least 52 years later. I would call upon Rabbi Posner to come and join me on the bimah as I offer God's blessing upon him. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God, David, always bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikunecha. May God's countenance continue to shine upon you and be gracious unto you and to Sil, to your entire family, to this community which you have shepherded and loved for 4 decades. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face continue to be lifted up to you. May you continue to be blessed with joy, with love, with peace. May the chesed, the loving kindness that you have bestowed upon us and upon this community, continue to bless you, David. And may God's chaim, God's favor, continue to bless you and all whom you love. And may you and Sil and all of your beautiful, beautiful children and family in this community be blessed with shalom, with peace. Amen.